This is the Comedy Show. The Comedy Show with Comrade Lamte Oriake. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comedy Show. The Comedy Show with Comrade Lamte Oriake. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comedy Show. The Comedy Show with Comrade Lamte Oriake. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comedy Show. The Comedy Show with Comrade Lamte Oriake. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know.
Yes. Top of the day to you all Nigerians across the world. This is the Comrade Show, and this is the hard gist on the Comrade Show. My name is Comrade Lamte Igbohos Oriake. Please, if you are joining me, I want to quickly join you to help me share this broadcast. Because today we want to look at Nigeria again. A lot of things are happening around the country. We've not discussed Nigeria for quite some time because so much was coming out of Edo State. And remember, Edo State is my primary constituency, and I proudly say, I'm Comrade Lamte Igbohos Oriake, a citizen of the United Kingdom of Great Benin. The United Kingdom of Great Benin is one story that at some point we're going to give some attention to, just to create, that awareness. And the reason why this is coming up is because, again, over and again, on a daily basis, we are seeing the non-sustainability of the entity called Nigeria. Every day, things are happening. People are speaking to the fact that this Nigeria we call a country today, in no time, may not be a country anymore, may not hold together anymore. Reasons being that the crop of leaders at the national level we have today, even at the regional level, okay, they are not doing anything to guarantee, okay, the sustainability of the Nigerian, of the Nigerian state, as it were. Today, as you already know, effort is being made by this Nigerian government to nail Namdi Kanus. They have tagged him, with different names. He was in court a couple of days back. Unfortunately, even the judge was angry that the federal government did not produce Namdi Kanus in court. The case has been adjourned on the 21st of October. Meanwhile, Nigeria government is currently fighting the extradition of Sunday Igbohos from Benin Republic so that they can equally nail him. The only thing we know about this government is a government of repression, a government that chases after those who disagree with the policies and of course implementation of policies of this particular government. Yet we live in a country where by the records of this same government we have lost over 30,000 Nigerians needlessly. They died not because they had an accident, they died not because they slept and did not wake up, they died not because they had ailment, they died because certain human beings, okay, orchestrated their killings, and they are still killing more on a daily basis. Now, this same government have refused to call these people the name that is aptly theirs, and that is that they are terrorists. This same government comes around to say they are bandits. They are very sympathetic, to to the works and the dangers and the wickedness of the Fulani herdsmen, of Boko Haram, and all of such people. And yet, we call this one Nigeria. I did say in one of my messages in the recent past that the incarceration of Namdi Kanus and currently, what's his name, Sunday Igbohos, will not stop. Okay? It is decision time. And I'm going to give you why it is decision time now. Because while we look at, Buhari, as a person, the truth of the matter is that, there is a whole lot of gang within the northern elite, okay, that are orchestrating this wickedness and unleashing death and sorrow upon every Nigerian. Now, Buhari being the president and one who is the arrowhead of the agenda, one who is the face and the symbol of all of these is the man we must mention. But meanwhile, every other person speaking around Buhari and the policies of the government, particularly the protectionism, policy of government, when it has to do with what's it called, Fulani herdsmen and all of that, you find out that it is not only the president who is right at the center of this matter. They are meeting daily, they are discussing daily, and the only content of discussion is how to hold Nigeria spellbound. And that is why the likes of Namdi Kanus became a serious subject of interest, because these guys were the people who were pulling the strings to stampede the agenda of this government of Buhari and the people around Buhari, and the agenda to Fulanize the entire Nigeria, the agenda to hold us spellbound, intimidate us to death, kill us. The voices of these young men, Sunday Igbohos and that of Namdi Kanus, and of course their followers, okay, were a major strong point that could stampede, this movement and the agenda of the Fulanis. Now, whether you like Sunday Igbohos or not, it doesn't really matter. Whether you agree with Namdi Kanus or not, it doesn't really matter. The bottom line is that this man rose because of the situation of the country. This man rose because they knew that what was happening in Nigeria, what has been happening and is still happening, is not sustainable. If we endure it, if we are patient, the only thing that will happen is that the death may not knock on your door this very minute, but it may knock the next minute, it may knock the next day, it may knock the next year, because the guys are advancing. And yet, while we have lost tens of thousands of people needlessly to these people, there has been no national cohesive, if you may, or whatever, a strategy or plan on how to curb the excesses of these people. There is no program of government, okay, that we can say, oh, this program is actually working, okay, towards protecting Nigerians. Don't forget, one of the fundamental objectives of governance and leadership is that, particularly at the national level, is that the president, okay, must be able to guarantee the protection of lives and property. On that, this administration has failed woefully. And yet, we have a lame duck National Assembly that are not willing to look at these failings. All they are interested in, people we elected from different constituencies across our country, all they are interested in is how much bread they put in their pockets. It may suffice to state, too, that while we are trying to strengthen, people are trying to strengthen, deepen democracy, make it stronger and better, advance beyond where we are, where we are coming from. This same National Assembly, particularly the National Assembly members, senators and House of Rep members elected from the southern part of Nigeria, they are the ones who objected to electronic voting, particularly those of the APC. Electronic voting system, e-voting system that worked so well in Nigeria, in Edo State. E-collation of result system that works so well, and INEC is willing to deploy this mechanism around the entire country, in the next presidential election. So when you look at it, At the end of the day, none of this is sustainable anymore. None of this can hold anymore because the voices of Sunday Igboho and that of Namdi Kanus, they are beginning to resonate in so many others. But meanwhile, before we hear some voices, let us take a listen to this interview granted, by one human being. I don't want to dignify him by mentioning his name. One Fulani human being granted this interview to Channels Television. He's a leader in the Nigerian state. Let's listen to him, his defense of the Fulanis. And let us decide, are we still brethren as a nation? Take a listen, please. I really want you to listen. Please, if you are there, share this broadcast. It's going to be very instructive. We need to start talking to ourselves. It's not going to be long, as much as possible. We're going to keep it as short as possible. But let's take a listen.
And of course, we will try more to cultivate that culture in our people, while at the same time bringing the Fulanis in one fold and try to arrest their traditional practice of moving from one place to the other. And that is very big, an uphill task. But I think we can communicate with them more, because to them they don't have borders from Cameroon to Nigeria.
But that's the thing, Your Excellency. How do we ensure that those who will be participating in this federal government largely funded program will be Nigerians?
In terms of the funding?
No, in terms of
the operations.
Operations. You said to bring in the Fulanis together. We have Fulanis from other countries.
The issue
as well.
of misconception, I see there is a lot of mistrust and misconception with regards to the Fulani man. The Fulani man is a global or an African person. He moves from the Gambia, from Senegal, and his nationality is just a Fulani man. And as a person, I may have my relations in the Cameroon, but they are also Fulani men. I have relations because from the maternal side, I'm a Fulani man. And that is why we want to educate people. A Fulani man sees himself as a Bayelsan, as somebody coming from the Niger Delta, because he speaks the Niger Delta language, which you and I don't. And of course, we would have to just take this as part of our own heritage, something that is African, and that we cannot just close the border and say the Fulani man is just a Nigerian or this. No. In most cases, the crises are precipitated by those outside Nigeria. When there is a reprisal, it is not the Fulani man within Nigeria that causes it. It is that culture of getting revenge, which is embedded in the tradition of the Fulani man, that attracts reprisal from all over the world.
If I understand it, does that mean that...
Let us take a listen carefully. We need to put all these things in perspective. This man is arguing that wherever the Fulani people gets to, okay, they possess. He argues to say that the Fulanis, okay, can claim to come from Niger Delta. This same man has said that the Fulanis, okay, in reprisal attacks that has led to the killings of tens of thousands of people, that it is their nature. These are the people we are cohabiting with in Nigeria. My people, it is decision time. It's unfortunate. This is one area I try to avoid my broadcast going into. But the truth of the matter is, everything points to this direction, that we cannot cohabit with these people. I am from Edo State. I do not know. My history has not told me. There is no member of my family, nor my village, or from Edo State that I know that is a Fulani man. We don't have Fulanis in Edo State. There is none. An indigene of Edo State that is a Fulani man, we don't have one. But this man is trying to tell me that whenever Fulani comes into Edo State, they become Edo indigenes. That is what he's trying to say. A large portion of this broadcast, okay, was subjected to the idea that the Fulanis are from different parts of the world, different parts of Africa. They can claim Nigeria. But let us listen further. I want us to understand and put all of these things in perspective so that we begin to understand that this nation, all the struggles we are struggling to keep Nigeria one, many of us, I mean, increasingly, it is that looking like we are wasting our time. if we make attempt to keep this nation one continuously, as long as this nation remain one, okay, one nation as we have it, Nigerians are going to be dying needlessly, and it's going to come to a point where all of us will be driven out of our own land. The entire Nigerian space will become a Fulani state. We, the owners of our own individual states or village or whatever, will become tenants in our own land. That's exactly what the agenda is, and it is time for us to, take appropriate steps. I am speaking to everybody. I am speaking to governors. In fact, to tell you what is happening, governors of the South, they have held meetings upon meetings. They have changed demands. They have put a ban, an end to open grazing. This federal government is not listening. The more these guys re-echo the ban on open grazing, the more the federal government deploy their plans to ensure that open grazing is a matter that comes to remain with us. Why? The only people in the business of grazing are the Fulanis. And that is the only way they will eventually use open grazing to take over every land in the whole of Nigeria. Every land. Kill the people to submission. Intimidate them to submission. And when they are doing that, they are forcefully ensuring that everybody confesses to Islam. There is a problem here, but let us listen further. Let's listen further.
Those Fulani men who are maybe domiciled in other countries who move around, they can come into the country and this plan will accommodate them as well.
Yes, that's what we want to do. But it has to be done through sensitization, telling them you have to buy in the project. And you use the language, the culture itself to be able to convince them. Away from the mistrust where the whole system of transhumance or pastoralism is criminalized. Criminalization of pastoralism is the problem that we have with this project. And it requires people with passion who understand them and who they believe in, people like us from that part of the country, to say, yes, we have this. Because today there is no limit to the accusation that this and that has happened and it is the Fulani man who caused it. There is no tribe that is not, that you don't have this criminality in, but certainly the way and manner we do it is really exacerbating the crisis and the problems.
Will there be any form of documentation of all the people that will be,
yes, we are
within that?
Oh yes, that is going to give Nigeria the opportunity to really have the best in terms of documentation in the demographics, because as I said, the Fulani man settles anywhere he can feed his cattle. And so if they are put in one place and they are made to understand that this is to save them and their animals, they are exposed to the vagaries of the forest and what is going on, cattle rustling, killings and what have you, and that's why it is important for them to understand that staying in one place is good. And of course, in terms of the best practice of carrying the meat, the cows and the lorries.
Let's stay with that security angle for a bit. Is there going to be, this plan going to be a fenced enclosure where anyone who comes in is secured, so there is no one that can just come in from anywhere else?
No. It is going to be a colony, and a colony does not require a fence.
You will understand
it is not going to be a prison.
You will understand the reason why people are concerned, because of all the security issues that have been happening over time. So if that's...
These forests are there anyway. If you don't occupy them and create a colony out of them, they create places for the criminals. And today, that's why you have the Sambisa forest, because it is not being utilized.
But Your Excellency, much as yes, I mean, they're fantastic. We have met a lot of them who are Fulanis as well. But the concern too is, why should federal government use resources for this country to accommodate Fulani men who are not Nigerians?
You see, as I said, we are already accommodating them. Do you delineate and then really know who is not a Fulani man from Nigeria? They are all Nigerians, because I said their identity, their own citizenship is Nigerian, even though we have relations all over the world, all over Africa. And so, presumably, they are Nigerians.
Man, they are all Nigerians. They come from all over the world. They are Nigerians. You know, as I listen to this man, I could, quickly, remember when the president of Nigeria granted Arise Television, interview. He stated clearly that he has first cousins in Niger Republic. This president stated that he has first cousins from Niger Republic. And later we found out that his mother is from Niger Republic and he's not even a Nigerian, as it were, as such, like a full Nigerian and all of that. Now, all of this, they all play to these. Now, the man is saying that anybody can walk into this country as a Fulani man, and he has a right to inhabit this country. He has a right to do whatever he wishes to do, and all of that. Man, we are in trouble. Everybody must begin to wake up. These ones that the certain governors are just, making smeh, and all the elected political leaders. It is time we wake up. Look, I do not approve holistically of some of our agitators, what they do. But the truth of the matter is, everything anybody does to stampede this process, okay, this agenda of these Fulani people, anything anybody does to stampede it is good enough for us, for all of us. It is better we define it now. It is better we take the stand now. I am a proud citizen of the United Kingdom of Great Benin. Now, you are incarcerated, what's his name, Namdi Kanus. Keep it forever, as you will. You are not trying to, capture Sunday Igbohos, whatever, keep it forever. But I can tell you that from what we are not seeing, Sunday Igbohos, Namdi Kanus, they are beginning to emerge from different circles. Different circles. And that is not unexpected. That is not unexpected. In a country where things like this can happen to people. Now, the image I'm going to show you right now, I may not be able to verify it independently whether it happened in Nigeria. However, we have seen worse things happen in Nigeria. And I will warn that these images are terrible images, gory images. A viewer discretion is advised. But I have to play it so that the world can begin to see, okay, the seriousness of what we are going through in the hands of this wickedness under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari and all the people around him, state governors of the Fulani descent and all of them. Let us take it. Watch. I'm sorry, it's a bad video. You may have seen it, but viewer description is advised. These are people captured, okay, by these terrorists, the people they call bandits. They eventually led them away. There are quite a number of them, probably numbering 20s. This is just one case of so many that we experience in Nigeria every day. Your discretion is advised. It's terrible. What you are saying is the beheadings of human beings. By people who are supposed to be human beings.
Montari wa enjoy.
Apologies. Well, that's the much I can take. But I just want us to have a scenario of the kind of people we are dealing with. And yet, somebody like Sheikh Gumi will come out and tell us that, these guys are victims too. We should not call them terrorists. They are bandits. We come and defend them, and yet nothing happens to Sheikh Gumi. And why Sheikh Gumi gallivants, goes into the forest and come back to discuss with these people. The Nigerian government is unable to tell us where they are. As we speak, for many years coming, not even one of these bandits, they want to call them, terrorists we call them, has been convicted. Not even one. And yet, we have Namdi Kanus in incarceration. We have Sunday Igbohos right now facing extradition to Nigeria. Okay? And yet, these guys are shielded. Now, do you know why? The reason is because, okay, the person who's in charge of Nigerian affairs today is a tribal man. And Fulani only knows, all they know is their tribe. And that is why they are highly nepotistic. Let us take a listen to what this scholar had to say about these kinds of people. Let's just take a listen.
In ancient Greece, for the Greek people, the people who in many ways gave us the modern civilized world, for the Greek people, the first kind of people in any given society are the idiots. For the Greeks, the idiot is not necessarily someone who is mentally deficient. Rather, for ancient Greek people, the idiot, they said, is someone who is a totally private person, a totally self-centered person, and a totally selfish person. They called him the idiot. The idiot.
Now, this man is trying to analyze the categories of the kind of human beings we have. You will decide for yourself which category, okay, Buhari and all of these people like the Bala Mohammeds and all of them belong to. You will tell yourself. You will tell yourself. Now, he has identified, there are three categories, okay, the Greek believe, according to this scholar. One of them, the idiots, people who are just self-centered. All they know about themselves, their belly infrastructure, nothing more beyond themselves. But let us look at the second group. Let us look at the second group.
But the Greeks also said that there is a second kind of people in any given society. And the Greeks called these people the tribes people. When we say tribes people, we don't necessarily mean the fact of belonging to a certain tribe, which is a good thing. But when they use the word tribes people, the Greeks meant a tribal and a tribalistic mentality. And the Greeks said that tribes people are those people who are not able to think beyond their small tribe or their small groups. For tribes people, their primary allegiance, their only allegiance, and their ultimate allegiance is to their tribe. Their tribe is their God, and their religion is tribalism. And tribes people, Greeks, the Greeks said, are always afraid of things that are different, that are a little alien to them. They are always suspicious and fearful. And they,
if you hear that correctly, their only allegiance is to their tribe, and they are always afraid of the things that are a little alien or things that challenges their own ideology, that challenges their nepotistic ideology and all of that. And that is what the likes of Namdi Kanus stood for. They still stand for. That is what the likes of Sunday Igbohos stand for. And the many others that will rise, follow their footsteps to liberate the Nigerian state. That is what they stood for. It is what they have been preaching. And that is why they are in incarceration today. But listen to how the tribe people deal with this kind of people, because they are different ideologically.
always dealt with different people and difficult situations with intimidation, with force, and with violence. But the Greeks also said,
that is what they do. They deal with them, intimidation, force, violence, and everything. And that's what they are doing right now. So when you look at the second category, that is where Buhari belongs. Now, the diversity of the Nigerian state as we know it cannot accommodate people like this as leaders. We have them now today as president, as ministers, as security chiefs, as governors, as this and that. Increasingly, their effort to keep their tribe together is exactly what should spur every one of us to do the needful and reorganize the states so that let them have their own territories. Because if I am not a Nigerian, If I am not, if United Kingdom of Great Benin is not in Nigeria, I am sure that the leadership of United Kingdom of Great Benin will owe it a duty to defend our territorial integrity against any encroachment. If Oduduwa Republic is not in Nigeria, I am sure the leadership of Oduduwa Republic will do the needful to defend our territorial integrity against anybody who wants to trespass. If Biafra is not in Nigeria, I am sure their leadership will do everything to defend their territory. And therefore, the only plausible, only reasonable thing to do if we cannot achieve equity, fairness, and justice is for all the stakeholders to sit down and draw the lines. So that let the Fulanis come from Gambia, let them come from Mali, let them come from wherever they come from. They come and stay in the north central, northwest, and north wherever. That will be their region. Because if these people belong to this second group cannot recognize that there are other people who have interest to protect their own territories and ensure that this encroachment will not continue to take place, it therefore means that we all should be ready for what is to come. That's for the second group. Listen to the third group, the kind of people that should actually be leading Nigeria. The kinds of people that, listen to the third group, according to this man. You will identify, and this will resonate with you as it does with me. Let us take a listen.
For the Greeks, there was another kind of people, another kind of a person, and that was the ideal person. And the Greeks called this ideal person the citizen. The citizen. And here when we use the word citizen, we are not talking about legal status or political status. We are talking about the idea and the ideal of citizenship. And who is the citizen? The citizen, according to the Greeks, is someone who has the skills and the knowledge to live a public life, who is able to live a life of civility. The citizen recognizes that he or she is a member of a commonwealth and thus strives for the common good. That is the citizen. The citizen, yes, he or she knows his or her rights in a society, but he or she also knows his or her responsibilities to society. The citizen can fight for his rights, but always with an awareness of and with a respect for the rights and interests of others, of their neighbors, of the smallest of minorities, and of the worst of their enemies. And it is citizens, the Greeks said, that make.
Can we say that Buhari is a citizen? Of course it's not. The only interest, the only allegiance Buhari and his people owe is to the Fulanis. They don't care about the interest of the others. The certain governors came together and say, we don't want open grazing in our territories. Okay? They are not interested. The interest of the South is not their business. What is their business is to ensure that they promote Fulanization of Nigeria. What is their business is to ensure that they keep sponsoring terrorists as Fulani herdsmen across different regions of Nigeria. That is their business. They are not really interested in anything. And that is why the likes of Balad Mohammed and so many others, the Sheikh Gumis, will come out and talk in sympathy, sympathize with these people to the extent that they hold the ground to ensure that nobody is convicted a terrorist in Nigeria. Till date, there has been no conviction. Today, Namdi Kanus is a high-powered case in Nigeria. What has Namdi Kanus done? Let's face reality. The man only has spoke for the liberation of his people from this tyranny that has enveloped Nigeria under Buhari's watch. What is Sunday Igbohos saying? And Nigerians are quiet. We are quiet. Our leaders are compromising. The senators and rep members, governors, many of you are compromising. And you are failing in your duty to understand that you owe it a duty to protect your people. You owe it a duty to save your own race. But what is coming to you, you don't yet know. You don't yet know. But I can tell you that even in churches, Sunday Igbohos and Namdi Kanus are beginning to rise up to speak up. No less a person than this that I listened to earlier today.
Somebody say Nigeria for Nigeria movement. I'm letting you know it's about to start. I'm going to champion it. It's going to go like wildfire across this nation. Nigeria for Nigerians. You'll be bigger than Save Nigeria Group. You have never seen anything like it before. It's a movement propelled by God. Nigeria for Nigerians, to deliver us from the hands of oppressors. In the mighty name of Jesus. This is a fight to finish. I'm not going to die for this country. I'm going to live for it. Nigeria will prosper in my lifetime. Nigeria will be saved. Nigeria will be changed. Nigeria will become great. It is the wicked that the land will vomit. In the name of Jesus. Somebody say, wow. The people said, to your tent, O Israel. We have no portion in the house of Jesse anymore. Sovereignty is not in your hand. You are commander-in-chief of nothing except the people put you there. The highest office in the land is the highest. Is the office of the citizen and the office of the president. Nigerians are going to rise. They are going to demand for their rights. Nigeria for Nigeria movement in the name of Jesus. And I dare you to try to stretch your hand against me like you have done to others. Then you will know whether God sent me or I'm just empty. I'm just making noise. In the name of Jesus Christ. Somebody shout, Nigeria for Nigerians. The time to serve this country had come. The government can't save us. The military can't save us. We have seen it. Nigerians must rise and demand for what is rightfully theirs. In Jesus' mighty name. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. This is the final warning. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. I love you. I served you. I respected you. I did everything to make it work for you. But you turned against me and God has turned against you. Get out of my way. Time had come for truth to be spoken. Do you understand me? I am not holding dialogue with anybody anymore. I will not come to you. You will come to me because it is war. Look, when it comes to time, when the time comes for God says, go speak, I don't fear no jack. I only respect people. And I wait for God's bidding. I remember in that bedroom of the president, when I told him, I've come to tell you, you'll be president, and this is the way it will take place. And to walk, I will excuse myself completely to give room to others. But right in my lifetime, this next time around, you are going to be, we were only two in the room. He said, no, I've stood publicly that I would never offer myself. I said, we are canceling it. How are you going to do it? And I laid the thing on the table and we set it in motion. I moved the motion for the matter at Igbohos Square and you became president. Now my mouth is smelling. It is the same mouth. It is the same Samuel that anointed Saul that God sent to go anoint somebody else. You understand?
That is the voice of Namdi Kanus and the voice of Sunday Igbohos that is resonating right there, that we just saw just now. That's exactly what is happening right now. That's why I say there is no incarceration of anybody in Nigeria that will stop what is to come. There is none. As we speak, the Yoruba nation, they are already putting their hearts together to ensure that they challenge this wickedness that we have today as in this contraption we have come to call Nigeria. Let us take a listen. Everybody's congregating. People are beginning to get alive to their responsibilities. We now know more and more that this is not sustainable. This happened, I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago, but it's what.
All the way from southwestern part of Nigeria. Nigeria is a fake nation. We do not want to partake the gain of the 1999 fraudulent constitution. Southwestern people of Nigeria are peaceful people. We are accommodating. We are knowledgeable. We are educated. In the United States of America, the survey shows that we are
This way.
Those are some Yoruba brothers, speaking out, for their own republic, understanding that, this contraption we call Nigeria is no longer sustainable and all of that. Now the situation has gone to this point, and I just want to, re-echo, what is happening in Nigeria as we speak. Even as this nation is, there is no proper policy for anything. The man Buhari is right now, abroad, taking care of himself and all of that. He doesn't care. The interest of the ordinary Nigeria is not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, and I have come to symbolize this in a very special way with a video I saw earlier today, and I thought that this is what the situation of Nigeria is fast turning into right now. Something we've not seen before. There are things that are going to begin to happen. Just watch this. It may be instructive if you begin to align what you see in this next video with what the Nigerian state is at the moment. It may make some sense. No matter what it is, we must get to that boiling pot and pick out what we want and move on. I have never seen this before. What you see there are goats eating from a boiling pot. I don't know if you've seen it before. I have never seen it before. For me, it is hugely strange, but it is happening. It's time for strange things to happen. Well, that will sure encapsulates, the Nigeria that is, is coming, fast coming. For me, as we speak, I can tell everybody today, that for the Nigerian matter, I don't know anymore. But proudly, I am a citizen of the United Kingdom of Great Benin. My first and primary allegiance, if not only allegiance right now, is to the United Kingdom of Great Benin. And I think that, like Pastor Bakari said, it is not a matter of to your tent, O Israel, because the center can no longer hold. Because while many of us have been very protective of it, maybe it will work, okay? But those that have been empowered to lead us, particularly from the Northern Divide, they have a different agenda. And that agenda, is not in any way accommodating the interest of those of us in the South. So why keep us together? Why keep us together? I think the leaders should come together now and do the needful. And the needful is that we need to sit down. We don't need to shed blood. We need to sit down and divide the country and let everybody choose the path they belong and go their separate ways. After all, the beginning of this country was not one that considered whether we wanted to be together. Culturally, I have no relationship. My people have no relationship directly or indirectly with the Fulanese. Historically, there is none. There is none. We not resemble in any way. Our way of life is different. The British came and just married this country together like that. Now we have grown up. We have seen the merit and the demerits. And we see that the demerits far outweigh the merits. And so this is why the call is arising us to say, man, look, we want to review this situation. This is what the situation is right now. Because the failure at the center is contributing hugely to the failures even at the other levels. The political culture is not so bad. Everybody, before anybody has a voice at all, they just bribe the person out of the scene. As we speak, when our own Satan brothers are busy doing tally here and there, the Northerners, these Fulanis, they are perfecting plans to ensure that they hold on the power beyond 2023. We cannot sit down and harmonize and put ourselves together and present a powerful front, galvanize the people along with this front. We are still in disarray. Look at what this human being came out to say. It's what they have been echoing, all of them. Allah, these Fulanis, it is their nature, it is their deeds. Nobody is condemning their reprisal attacks. Nobody is condemning their killings. They are saying it is their nature. They must be accommodated. They must not be stigmatized. These are murderers. They are killers. They are assassins. They are terrorists. And they must be called who they are. And for everybody who comes to speak in their favor, you are equally a terrorist. The president of Nigeria, without missing words, is one of them. Bala Muhammad is one of them. Sheikh Gumi is one of them. All of them, they are all together in this whole agenda. And we must use our tongue to cut our teeth. The time is now. We have generations that are coming that must not come and witness this cooking danger. This danger that we already see. Generations are coming that must not be born into slavery. Because what we are seeing right now, eventually is going to enslave everybody in the country. Nigerians, it is decision time. And I think that all of us, we've got our roles to play. We've got our roles to play. I'm not going to speak to Edo State people directly, but the Benin masses, all those of you who deal with us in Edo State, selling land to Fulanis, giving them houses, giving them abode, you don't know what you are doing. Enigies or Diowares, connivers with all these Fulanis. Use your tongue to count your teeth. Because we cannot sow the seed of danger that will kill us tomorrow. In Edo State, many of our Enigies, many of the ones, thank God the government of Edo State has come out now to disband the ones they call Okaele, the ones who are selling land indiscriminately. All they need is just get the money. They sell the land to their enemies. Irrespective, it doesn't matter to them. Be warned. Be warned. Be warned. Be warned. Because the money, when I make you go live there now, you will die and live it tomorrow. But what you are living is that you are living and exposing your children and your children's children to danger. Everybody must be warned. And those people must come together and understand that way. They have started. We cannot pretend about it. They should not be accommodated in our land. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. Because it's Sagyoba all of them. It's Sagyoba. And those people must be wise. We must be wise. Data people must be wise. The danger that these people carry, even if they come gently, they should be immediately expelled. Expelled. Maybe why are we here? But everybody should listen to this and understand that where the time has come. Because whether Enyenokwa Enyenekere Obiokba or Gwehia. Obiokba or Gwehia. We must evolve a policy of keeping our own together. This is very important. And all you Igbo people, particularly many of you who have been speaking left, right, side, corner, speaking against Namdi Kanus, saying all sorts of rubbish. Put yourselves together, because your voice and your words and your compromise is eventually betraying your race and selling your race off. And that is the truth. And for you, the Yorubas, particularly those in the corridors of power who are saying yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, from the vice president of the country down to the list leader, who are subservient to these Fulani people, you people are a problem to this particular mission. The mission is clear. There is no way the rest part of Nigeria must be able to cohabit with these Fulanis. They have given us the green light. They will come from Gambia, from Mali, from this. As far as they've come into Nigeria, they are Nigerians. Where does that happen? Are we the only country in this world? Are we the only country in Africa? They will come from Chad Republic, come from anywhere, commit havoc. You government will protect them because they are Fulanis. And as long as they step foot in Nigeria, they become Nigerians. Woe betide all of you in the name of Jesus. Woe betide you. I ought not to be speaking like this, but it is really annoying, to say the least. It's really annoying. You just tell people, the other people's interests don't matter. The interests of others don't matter. The Fulanis can just come and stroll into anywhere. Even as we speak, in my own dear Edo land, village to village, there are still people, there are villages still fighting over the ownership of land, over the ownership of territories. The same people, the same Edo people, 2 villages, this one was here in Badi, but one was here in the Badi, they'll start fighting. They will require the palace to come and settle the matter. Then you are telling me that the Fulanis can come in from Gambia, from Mali. If they are able to get to Benin or get to Delta, they can settle anywhere. They should be accommodated because their lifestyle. The forest should be inhabited by them. God will punish you now. Every agenda that you hold will explode in your face. And Nigerians, they serve the vibe. We must rise, oh. We must rise, oh. We must rise, eh? We are alive today. The grace of God will give many of us longevity. Okay? But nobody's going to live forever. But we owe it a duty to defend our land. If not for today, but for the generations that are coming. For the children that will be born. Because otherwise, they will just cut your race. Even you don't even get you don't even get generations after you anymore. We must do the needful. We have to do the needful. It is decision time. It is decision time. Every Sunday Igbohos there, every Namdi Kanus out there, it is time for us to rise and take the bull by the horns, because we cannot wait for this, a castrated federal government to protect our interests. They have shown it very clearly. Look at the interview now, granted by this, I will not dignify by calling his name. He's a bad man as far as I'm concerned. Coming to tell us that shamelessly, in this era, we are not living in primordial times. In this era, in this generation, they can come from Gambia, from Mali, where as far as they enter Nigeria, they are Nigerians. Borders are open to them because they are Fulanis. If you have cousins in Mali and Gambia, what's my business with that? What is my business with that? Well, there is a territorial integrity. People must belong to a particular nation. They must belong to a particular nation. I tell me they can stroll in and become Delta people. They can become from Niger. They can become Niger Delta people. What kind of nonsense is that? What insolence? Of course you can speak like that, because the leaders from the Niger Delta, they have sold their souls out to you people. They have sold their souls. Look at the minister of what's his name? Former Cross River State Governor, the one that in charge of NDDC right now. Look at them. Look at the way they are mesmerizing our resources. Oh yeah, it's being produced in the Niger Delta. The land is no longer good for anything. The waterways have been polluted. Everything is in fact, everything has been destroyed, and yet the land is not developed. But the people who own the oil wells, they are all in the north. So what are we? What kind of imbalance, injustice Look at appointments. Look at which certain person right now occupies any relevant position. Nepotism. Tribesman, not a citizen. Buhari is not a citizen, he's a tribesman. We must understand that. And there are tribesmen everywhere in leadership position across the northern part of Nigeria. And they are willing. Certain governors have come out to say they want the next president to be zoned to the south. Now the northern governors have come out to say, Lalai, the next president should equally come from the north. Is that not enough reason for us to say, Wadiaga guy, make we share the gari? Is that not the reason? You think if it is within my power alone to call for that, I will not do that immediately? Where we see clear-cut injustice, lack of fairness, pervading everywhere, and yet it is looking like business as usual. I beg. There's a duty. Nigerian people, please share this broadcast. We'll keep on talking. We're not going to stop. Like I said, as many Sunday Igbohos and Namdi Kanus out there, it is time to rise. The momentum, we must keep it on. The only reason why Namdi Kanus is being attacked, the only reason why they are after Sunday Igboho is that they want to cut every voice that will be challenging the hegemony of the Fulanis. More voices need to rise. Thank God Bakare has seen the lights. Because this Bakare has been romancing with this Buhari. But thank God he has seen the light. And we want to see many more ministers see the light and begin to support Nigerians to understand that we need to do the needful. And the needful is that this is not sustainable. We are either in it in truth and in spirit, or we are not in it at all. At all. Edo territory belongs to Edo people. Delta territory belongs to Delta people. It belongs to them. Ondo territory belongs to Ondo people. Imo territory belongs to Imo people. Don't tell me that anybody can just stroll in because it's their culture to possess the forest, and they should be allowed to do so. What between all of you who are in that arrangement? We are not part of it. Our interest must count. It must matter. Fellow Nigerians, that's the much I can take. And well, the conversation goes on. I have other things to actually talk about, but I will leave them. It's all right. Man, thanks a lot, man. It's been the Comrade Show. My name is Comrade Namdi Kanus. I'll see you guys again. Bye for now.
No. This is the Comrade Show. Make Comrade Show with Comrade Namdi Kanus live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the